MTI, as well as if you guys have any questions, you can go and enter those in the question box, and we'll go over those at the end of the presentation. So with that, Ofer?
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Maybe good afternoon, but good evening for sure from Israel. I'm speaking from Israel. So and thank you for everyone joining us, and I'm sorry about last time, the one that trying to join us last time, and we have some technical problem, but I'm sure that we fix it. So let's start. So this is the agenda of the presentation. I'm sure that if you will ask one of the Microcom team can send you the presentation, whatever you need. I'm sure that it will be on the website as well. So so just a little about MTI. We think that that MTI is a leadership. We saw a lot of OEM join to our portfolio, and OEM like company like like Alverne before, but Redline, Radwin, whatever. And the reason that they are choosing MTI is because leadership in high quality antenna, and mass production, and support all kinds of standards. And this is very important for you, that when you buy the antenna, you know that you buy from the right company. So this is small about MTI. Just in general, we have three business units. One is the defense market, which we start and we still continue to work, and it's a very good market for us worldwide. Second, we have the wireless application, which is what I'm going to give you an introduction to. Then we have RFID. And if you need more information about RFID, I'm sure that Microcom can arrange a webinar about RFID with another fellow from our team. In general, about what do I present, very small. We're talking about company like Cambio Network, Baylor, Aruba, Exalt, other country that you might, for example, Uber Zuno is doing a lot of our private labeling, Radwin, and other one, Aviat Network, and so on. What we can offer for you in general, again, in general, just going from top to down, we can offer you different kinds of solution for point-to-point, either some of the dish antenna, or either two-foot flat panel antenna, again. Of course, point-to-multipoint, base station, sector, omni, and subscriber. Any kind of broadband wireless access we cover. We receive soon a lot of frequency that we cover. We are bidding now for different kind of LTE solution, which, by the way, same frequency, 2.3 or 3.65 or other frequency, but again, they need antenna the same like broadband or whatever. And different kind of wireless application, for example, ray train, monitor of gas station, and so on. So any kind of wireless application that they need a kind of solution, we can offer you a solution based on our antenna. Just want to give you the process of development process antenna, because everyone sometimes it's amazing to know that sometimes people asking, but it's the same procedure for everyone, whatever it's a new market or a new application or a new OEM. So first of all, we get the spec, even sometimes the mechanical spec, which we need to fix the antenna to make the customization. We do a lot of simulation phase. Once we finish the simulation phase, we have spec. Then we go to sometimes 3 or 1, depending on how much it's critical, and we build a final antenna, which we finish the final documentation and put a master in our portfolio. We must keep master, which is keep all the testing, and we know how to compare it to the one that we do a production. So what is the consideration when you do antenna development? First of all, what is the required performance? It's very critical for us to know what is the performance that you're looking for. Type of radome, many people doesn't know, but radome change the performance. Radome can change the antenna, behavior. For example, the height of the radome, the size of the radome, what is the difference, the length between the radome and the PCB. There is a lot of kind of radome and PCB inside where we also need to choose the right one. Even the same PCB type for two different vendors give you this different performance. So again, this is something that is very critical for antenna manufacturer. Again, type of PCB, thickness. There is a different kind of PCB, different kind of sizes. And of course, connector cable is also important because you can take the same connector, the same N-type connector, for example, from two different vendors. It gives you this different performance, even from the same vendor, N-type male and N-type female, different performance. So it's everything is taken into consideration when you do the simulation and the spec and the result. And finally, yeah, the price is very important, so we put also effort about the price. But the reason that I want to put the price in the bottom, because all the other performance that we talked before is very important to give you the best quality antenna. And then the price is very important, and this is the reason that we open a manufacturer in India in order to reduce cost. What kind of band frequency we can support with Microcom today? Any kind of 700 megahertz, 9 megahertz, 1.3, 1.8, which is also for Canada, 2.4, 3.65, and combined, any kind of combined band and frequency. It means that there are customers that are looking for 2.4 or 4.9, or they want triple pole, whatever. You can download, if you go to our website, you can download in our website all kind of drawing, test result, spec, everything you want on our website. And then you can go, one of the features, you can go and download the full complete catalog, either by Excel file, which is very easy to search and making cut and paste, or by PDF. Then you can ask Microcom if they have it in stock, or how much you need, or whatever from the catalog. Very nice portfolio with CDs. And then you can go to Microcom website. You can see the link here, and ask for any quotation you can get, if it's on the stock, what kind of promotion, and so on. So this is the trailing that unfortunately last time make us some trouble with the presentation. So what kind of 900 megahertz Microcom keep today? So if you can see, the 900 megahertz, they keep a lot of base station antenna, which is 90 degree, 120 degree, 180 degree Omni antenna, and so on, and some of the CPE antenna. 5.8, we have a very nice portfolio that Microcom keeps today. For example, the triple polarity antenna, dual pole CPE, dual pole base station, very nice portfolio, and so on, and single pole base station as well. Of course, all of these, it's cut and paste, by the way, from the portfolio that I mentioned before, the Excel file. Also 3.65, you have a lot of portfolio of MTI with Microcom, different kind of solution. Of course, it's a partial solution. So what kind of product solution we can give you? First of all, we can support you any kind of base station in sector. There's a typo mistake, I'm sorry here. Any kind of subscriber antenna, omnidirectional for all of this frequency, enclosure and mounting kit. By the way, I'm not sure that you are the right market for 80 gigahertz, but we already have almost 10 different OEM for 80 gigahertz, including like Bridgewave and Ciclo and other ones. So also 80 gigahertz, which is very different from the other one, we can support you. As you can see, most of the picture show you that we have a flat panel antenna. This is something that we are very strong of this, but we do have dish antenna like for 5.8, 3.65, and also for 80 gigahertz. A nice solution for many integrator, many kind of people that are using, MikroTik or using different kind of radio for their application. We have a box which coded enclosure that you can put your equipment inside, and we have many kind of antenna, and if we don't have the antenna that you want, we can customize anything from our portfolio to do the IP67, and then you get a box which is ready to go to any kind of solution. Very, it's much cheaper for you to buy this enclosure from Microcom and the antenna instead of building your own enclosure or trying to build any kind of application. So it's much easier in the beginning. I don't know if you are using even hundreds of units per year. It's very easy to use this box because we can customize for you many antenna. And now we have a new enclosure, which is the same 1-foot enclosure, but you have more MIMO. This is the bottom and the top, and this is the inside. You have more different holes for to keep more Omni antenna, more N-type, more RJ45, and inside you have a very nice design that you can put your radio or your equipment inside, and we give some screw in order to hold it. So it's very easy to install your equipment inside, much easier than last time. So it's very nice solution, very cheap compared to proprietary solution that you might have. As I mentioned, we do have dish antenna. One of them is the E-band, which is the 80 gigahertz, but we also have a very nice portfolio of parabolic dish antenna, as you can see from the picture. We also have a radome for these parabolic, and Microcom, I think, keep some of them in stock. The specific, the 4.9. By the way, it can be either dual polarization or single polarization. We can control, and then we have some adapting that you can use it for dual slant. Some people are looking for dual slant, but most of the company are using this for point-to-point dual polarization. We have a very nice antenna, which also, again, Microcom keep it. These are the triple polarity antenna. Many kind of people are using it for Wikipedia. I don't want to click this link again, but we have off-the-shelf antenna for 5.8. Very nice antenna. You can do it if you want. You can do vertical and dual slant. Dual slant is plus minus 45, but with a small adapting plate, we can change it to be also triple polarity VNH and slant if you want. So very nice solution. Very we saw a lot of demand in the market for triple polarity. We also have some grid antenna, dual slant, but let's leave it, for. We do a lot of embedded antenna customization, many kinds, as you can see, with cable, without a cable, just a PCB. This is the enclosure of one of our customers that we put the antenna inside. And again, it's one of our, one of our market for OEM is to do embedded antenna inside the radio. So very important now, we are going to, we finished the portfolio. In general, you understand what MTI has, what Microcom have in stock, but in general, we're going now about general direction about consideration about antenna vendor. One of the things that I'm going to focus is the quality, okay? So first of all, you need to see the broad picture, okay? It's very important sometimes to see the antenna, but we will see that you need a lot of questions before to ask yourself about the network, the customer, and so on. Don't forget that this is a broadband wireless access. It's not, it's not a cable or fiber, so there is a lot of kind of design that you need to consider. Design consideration, we'll talk, it's point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, what is the range, what is the capacity, what is the performance, what is the service level agreement, and so on. What kind of antenna parameter I need to ask, I need to get. Also vendor parameters. It's, you can get maybe the same antenna from different vendor, but I'm sure that you prefer to choose the vendor that you trust him. For example, you trust Microcom when you join this kind of sorry. joined this kind of presentation, so I'm sure that you are trust with Microcom. And then I will give you a case studies how to read between the spec. Okay. So the first question that everyone asking is how much it cost me, and I will show you during this short presentation that it's a wrong question. So because to ask how much it cost me, it's good to ask, but it's the bottom line. Okay, before you need to go all over this question that we mentioned before, and then really you understand that even maybe you pay less, you get less, even you get much less. So what is the broad picture? First of all, what is your network? What kind of customer you need to have? What kind of requirement you have from network? You know, a range of the customer, coverage, if you have rural or urban area, what kind of application, if it's voice, data, video, what kind of throughput you're going to support for your customer. And we mentioned the distance, and don't forget that this is outdoor solution. Most of the application that we support is outdoor. And environment is critical here for your network. We talk about which is wireless system, okay, and there is some design considerations. So first of all, antenna. There are many OEM that they don't choose the antenna. They give you the end type and they give you the option to choose the antenna. They can maybe recommend it, but for sure, if you ask them, they would sure tell you that it's critical to choose the best antenna solution for your network. What will happen if you choose the wrong antenna? So first of all, distance. For sure, distance will be influenced by the antenna gain or by other antenna parameter. Throughput of the network, very critical. We talk about throughput. You will see that throughput is also a parameter that the antenna should not be affected by other antenna or other system. Quality of service that you want to give for your customer. Interference, we'll talk about this shortly. Frequency reuse, if you want to do a frequency reuse. Otherwise, you can, it's a kind of throughput. If you can do a better frequency reuse, the throughput of single cell can be increased. Reliability of the network and survival of the network as well. So this is a wireless system. Don't forget, it's not a fiber, it's not ADSL, it's not a copper. It's a wireless, but there are too many parameters which are not, for example, are not part of the fiber consideration. What is the antenna parameter that you need to check with any kind of, So many customers, for sure, I'm sure that you agree with me. The first thing that you're asking, what is the gain? Very important question, but it's not enough because you need to see also what is the side lobe. Side lobe is critical for interference. Side lobe is critical for performance and throughput of your network. What is the front to back ratio? We'll see immediately what is front to back ratio, but in general, if you have a bad front to back ratio, it means that you transmit either to other system or you can get transmission from other system in your back of the antenna, not in the front, in the back of the antenna, you're going to have a big problem with performance because someone which transmits in the other side can affect your, you will be affected by his transmission. Cross polarization, if you are transmitted in V polarity or H polarity or both of them, so cross polarity feature of the antenna is critical. Never mind if it's a V or H only, but you must get what is the cross polarization. The higher the cross polarization ratio, the better throughput that you can get. Because if you transmit in V and someone can transmit in H, or you can also transmit in H polarity, it's going to affect your network performance if you don't have a good cross polarization. Environment, very critical. Environment should be IP67. The radon should be UV protection because if you have a problem and the radon can, we talked about this before, but the radon can change if during the time it can change the color or the behavior of the antenna, and then the performance can the performance of the antenna can be, there's going to be any kind of degradation with your performance. So it's very important also to understand this is a full hardware solution. Even a car, if you take a car, you put it, outside, it will change the color during the time after 3 or 4 years. So again, antenna, it's critical for the outdoor environment. And by the way, we give 3 years warranty of antenna, which is fully outdoor implementation. I'm talking about, from the end pipe connector to the radome to everything. So you have 3 years warranty when you buy MTI antenna, which is very important, by the way, for you. Take these into consideration when you compare to other antenna manufacturers. Okay, so just for understanding, there is a gain in the azimuth and there is a gain in the elevation. Always when you transmit, it's kind of, of 2 directions. So the main lobe is the gain that you all the time asking. No one asking about the elevation, but the narrow of the elevation, the higher the gain that you have. But if you can change also and control the elevation. By the way, if someone is asking by default for customized antenna, we can play with these as well. So this is just for a gain. Beamwidth, there is a standard defined that the sector or whatever, the beamwidth of the antenna is defined by -3 dB. So there is the peak, and there is the -3 dB, which is the beamwidth with half power. This is dB. It's algorithm, and -3 dB mean 50% power lower than the peak, something like that. Side lobe. We talk about side lobe. Side lobe, if you can see, this is the main lobe, okay, in the azimuth. You have a side lobe. All of the any of the antenna that you took, you see the picture. There is a side lobe, okay. Side lobe means that if someone is transmitting to your main lobe and by mistake you didn't make the right direction of the antenna, you can maybe get in a wrong transmission in your side lobe. So side lobe is very important for the radio and for the transmission to know that this is the main lobe, and all the other one, it's a side lobe. Okay, it means that it's not important enough, although it's important when you transmit on some area. But you should have a very good side lobe suppression. It means the lower the side lobe, the better the antenna. Okay, because the radio and everything doesn't need to handle a side lobe, which maybe other one transmitting to your network. Side lobe is critical parameter for performance or throughput of your network. Any antenna that you're going to choose, you must get what is the side lobe. If you have any question, you can call me for any kind of question. You can call me to ask about the side lobe, and it's very critical for the radio. It's very critical for your performance, for your network, and you must get it. And we test it for each antenna going outside. We test the side lobe. Front to back ratio, as I mentioned, as you see the main lobe, there is a back lobe, which should be very low, because if it's bigger than whatever should be the standard, okay, by the way, everything covered by standard, by ETSI standard, but you're going to get a lot of interference from your back side of the antenna. It's very funny, but you can have a good antenna, and then if you have a wrong or wrong front to back ratio, you're going to have a problem with interference. So also every antenna has this kind of parameter. Cross polarization. As I mentioned before, there is a lot of kind of transmission outside. You have vertical, you have horizontal, you have dual slant sometimes, which is minus plus 45, whatever. But each antenna need to have parameter which mention that what is the degradation. Okay, if I transmit in V, what is the degradation to other polarization in the area or in the air? So so you need to have a very good cross polarization. If you want to transmit in V, you don't want anyone that transmit in H, or if you're doing let's say reuse of frequency, you don't want that the H polarity will affect your V polarity. So it's very critical, again, for throughput, performance. I don't know, you imagine that you put the antenna with V polarity and it's works fine. Tomorrow morning, someone else put in a different antenna with H polarity or with dual polarity, whatever, and your network will be affected by this kind of transmission. So cross polarity, again, is very important in multi-environment. You know, and when you transmit, you are not the only one on the roof or the only one in the market. In the pole. So in general, it's kind of coverage and ROI and everything. In general, if you use the right antenna, you will get a better coverage, which means that you need, for example, less cell in order to support the same area. Here, for example, you need to put another cell here, another cell here, another sector in order to make better coverage. And of course, ROI is very important because the less pole that you need, the less location that you need, the less sector that you need, the less radio that you need, of course, you increase the ROI. And this is very simple. If you choose a better solution antenna, you will get a better ROI, which means return on investment. I just want to emphasize a little about the environment. Again, we're talking about temperature, we're talking about vibration. You know, the antenna that can be, you can put it on your car. The installation guy can maybe rotate this. So every antenna should be tested by vibration according to the standard, including the radon. Humidity, okay, so it's very important to understand that the antenna is IP67 for dust and water. It means that this is almost the highest, most of our antenna is IP67. This is almost the highest standard that you can get for water and dust, because if dust getting inside the antenna, you will have a degradation with the performance, because dust can affect, and even, you know, even water and rain can affect the antenna performance. Salt spray, solar radiation, we talk about this, ice and snow, flammability, wind load, very important, wind load. This is a parameter that's working with the mounting kit, because if you have a very high wind load, the antenna, there's two parameters. One of these is survival, and the other one is operation. So you also, if you want, if you are installing in very high area, or you have a very load, a very strong wind load, so you need to ask what is kind of wind load the antenna support. It's very important as well. Again, sometimes it's transparent for you, but you should ask, at least get the data sheet, see inside what kind of parameter. Vendor parameter, again, I just mentioned this because I want to be proud to show you that we have a proven track record, whatever you say. I'm sure that you hear about MTI reputation. We have a technical capability, including R&D, manufacturing, testing. As you can see, this is the lab, the chamber lab, which cost about $10 million just. And it's working almost 24 hours a day, because we test in a lot of antennas going outside. Three framework every day, excluding Saturday. So product portfolio, what kind of product portfolio you can get? You know, we have a very nice range of portfolio. What kind of expertise? We mentioned also warranty, reliability of technical information. So it means that if you get the data sheet, you want to get the same performance in the network. And we will talk about this very shortly. Technical capability, I will leave it for next time. I don't want to go. It doesn't work, so it should be a kind of a movie here, but I'm sorry it doesn't work. What's happened in the movie, you will see someone that is cheating the gatekeeper, you know. So I'm going next slide. I'm sorry it doesn't work. It should be a funny movie. What you see here, this is the reason that I want to put the movie. I'm going to give you some case study, okay, just to read between the line. For example, if you can see two companies, one is MTI, the other one is other brand, give you 5.8 gigahertz, 16 dBi. You can see that the company that give you 16 dBi, you can see that 4.9 up to 6, you will see the range, the gain. Again, I'm talking only about the gain. I'm not talking about side lobe, front back ratio, cross pole, which also are bad as well. But you know, we are talking about gain. So just trying to understand, you can see that the gain is lower than 16 most of the frequency compared to MTI, which give you 4.9, 5.8, 16 dBi almost all the way. So this is kind of difference between. So if you, for example, you choose the Rode antenna and you want to transmit in 5. Okay, you get about 14, 13. Maybe it's good enough, but it's not 16. So this is one case study. The other case study, which is very critical, if you use dish antenna for point-to-point and you buy 29 dBi and you get only 26 dBi, half of the power beam, went. So imagine that from both sides you have only 26 instead of 29. So you shorten your link budget by almost 50% and even more. So the range between the two dish antenna, okay, the distance is going to be very. So all the calculation that you've done based on based on the data sheet, it's not correct because you get the 26 dBi. And this is the reason that I said that, reliability of documentation. If we promise 29, we give you 29. Otherwise, we will write it's not 29. And we can give you, by the way, all the test performance results for any kind of customer that's asking for any kind of antenna. So now you need to ask what value for money I get. I bought 29, I got 26, I shortened the link. Instead of 1 kilometer, I will get, instead of 2 miles, for example, I get less than 1 mile. So you need to put more links, and maybe it's okay with you. The link is less than half, 1 mile, but based on your calculation, it should be 2 miles. So it's very important to ask what value for money you get. Just to compare again the same case study between the side lobes. So if you get a good side lobe of minus 20 dB in both ports H and V, you see that side lobe here it's much, you have a bad ratio for the side lobe. So it means that you're going to have more interference in these antennas, and also the port isolation that we talk VNH. You can see that dramatically so there is a difference between the two companies. So what you get full link budget for the point-to-point application, which is critical. Throughput is going to be very, very poor. Again, value for money for your money. You buy something and you get something else. This is something. For example, another data sheet that everyone, sometimes trying to, I don't want to say cheat, but give you a wrong information. They mentioned that this is kind of sector antenna with minus 6 dB, but actually, as we mentioned, the standard defined minus 3. Okay, so they give you, they tell you that it's 120 sector degree, but actually, according to the standard, it's 19. So what's happened? They gave you, they sold you 120, you got 19 actual. So what's happened? That once you install it, because it's 120, you get low coverage because you have a lack of coverage between the 120 to the real 90 degree. It should be 120, okay, but you got 90, so you have area that you cannot cover. Maybe it's good enough, if you need to point to one area, so okay. But if you want to have a full cell coverage, you're going for sure to have a problem because the people that are getting information from here will get a lower gain for sure. So the distance that you can reach in this area is very low. Again, value for money. And read between the lines. So the real question is not how much it costs me. What is the performance of my network? Can I get high quality with reasonable price? What is the ROI and cost benefit? Of course, if you want to have a short link, you don't care maybe how much gain you have. But if you want to have a longer link, okay, with a longer distance, so then you need to ask yourself, really, what is the best solution that I can choose for a very long distance point-to-point. I'm done. Thank you very much. If you have any question, I'm here. If you have offline questions, we will be happy to answer. I'm sure that Microcom can give you a link at least for the presentation.
Okay, Ofer, thank you very much for that one. We went a little bit over, but I did get one question that came in here that I want to hit just because I'm curious on it too. I forget which slide it was, but when you covered the 4x4 antennas, the MIMO antennas, how are the polarities set up in that one?
What is the quality?
The polarities. Is it like, I can understand vertical, horizontal, then?
No, it's because there are many customers that are looking for to increase the capacity of specific sector. So what we have done inside, we put double dual slant antenna. But the beautiful is that we arrange for you we talk about silo, cross pole, and everything. So we arrange for you that when we ship it outside, everything will be excellent regarding these parameters. So in one radome, you get 4 antenna, which is 2 double dual slant.
Okay. And if anyone has any other questions, you can go ahead and email your sales rep at Microcom with that, or you can email sales@microcomtech.com. This broadcast was recorded, so we'll have this on our YouTube page by tomorrow. So if you have any questions, like I said, you can contact your Microcom sales rep. Ofer, thank you very much for your time. Everyone else, thank you for yours as well. Have a good day.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you, Ofer. Bye.
Bye.